When you chase money, you lose. Always and forever, even when you achieve the money.
Chasing money makes you do stupid things.
I got to the point where I thought, you know, I'd rather fail as a writer than succeed as a lawyer.
Rise and shine, it's Entspresso time.
I wake up every morning.
Espresso keep me going.
I wake up every morning.
Grab your coffee and sip on today's message from Gary Vaynerchuk. Also, if you want to learn to have more confidence, check out my 254 Confidence series. It's free. The link is in the description below.
On a bigger macro, patience and failure, they all ladder up to one thing, which is insecurity. Maybe you actually love playing video games more than starting an app company. When I was growing up, playing video games was a waste of time. Today, I think we can all agree, a professional esports superstar for the next 50 years, probably behind proper football and basketball, is going to be the biggest athlete in our world. This is nothing you could see 7 or 10 years ago. You owe it to yourself to make sure that you're building a company around what you love, not because cryptocurrency is the current fad. When you chase money, you lose. Always and forever, even when you achieve the money. This is how humans are wired.
Chasing money makes you do stupid things. Money is important. It has to be in your top 5. It just can't be number 1. Your heroes, the people that you look up to, the people that you want to be like, the ones who went off and changed the world and made a lot of money in the process, they had a mission. Money was not number 1 for them. Look at whoever you look up to, respect, love, admire. Your heroes, understand them, look at their story. Money's in their top 5, but it's not number 1. And so when you go up against somebody like that, when you go up against somebody who's chasing down their purpose, and you're coming into the industry because you think it's a hot opportunity for this year, they're gonna crush you. You will always get crushed by the person who loves the thing if for you, it's just an opportunity. And so that's why chasing money makes you do stupid things. You get into an industry because you think it's gonna be a hot chance for you, but you're gonna lose because you don't love it. The people who love it will always win, and so it's much better for you to go off and chase down something you love and make money in the process of doing that thing. It's why the number 1 rule for success that comes up the most consistently across all the people that I profiled, across all different kinds of industries and backgrounds, is you have to love what you do. When I first started helping entrepreneurs, I never thought I'd make any money. My first speaking gig in Canada was at a local YMCA, and they had this event for entrepreneurs. They had this little club, this group, and they booked me to come and speak at their event for free. And I thought, yeah, why not? I'll give back, I'll help, it's free, it's fine, no problem, happy to contribute back. And they had this group of entrepreneurs, and I promoted as well, and I spent weeks working on this presentation, and only 3 people ended up showing up to my event. 3 people showed up to my first event that was absolutely free. And at first my heart sunk, like, man, this sucks. Like, I spent all this time working on this presentation and only 3 people showed up, and I felt like a failure. I felt like I'm never gonna make this into anything, but 3 people showed up, so I did it anyway because I don't want to disappoint the people and let them down. And it ended up being awesome. Like, I know that I helped those 3 people who came out, and I knew I had to figure out a way to keep going. I never thought I'd make money. I had no idea how I was gonna make money doing this. I thought if only 3 people show up to a free event, how would I ever charge for it? I thought entrepreneurs don't have a lot of money, so they're not gonna hire me to come and speak at their event. And then I thought, well, big corporations who usually hire keynote speakers, why would they hire me? I teach entrepreneurship. I'm gonna go to their company and keynote an event where I'm gonna teach their employees how to be entrepreneurs, right? And leave the business. It didn't make any sense. So I never thought I'd make money doing it, but I had to find a way to keep going because it filled my soul. And when you figure out something that fills your soul and you keep going after it and doing it, you'll find ways to make money. And I'm gonna give you 3 tips on how to actually execute that. Number 1 is combine your passions. People often ask me, I have this idea and I like this and I like that. How do I decide? Which one should I do? For me, it's not doing both or picking either or, it's smushing them into one. If you love financial advising and you love hockey, then you put them together like a buddy of mine did to be the financial advisor for hockey players. It's not, okay, I'm gonna do financial advising and forget about hockey, or I'm gonna do hockey and forget about financial advising, because you'll always feel like there's a hole. You'll always feel that something's missing in your life because you wanna go off and do that other thing. You're always gonna feel called and pulled in a different direction. And it's not, let's start two companies at the same time. It's smush them into one. Be the first person to smush them into one, because that's what makes you unique. I look at GaryVee as an example. When I did an interview with him, he said that I DJ'd content in a way that made people inspired.
You consume so much content and then know how to DJ it. You've been making videos that inspire people.
So you look at what I do on my YouTube channel. I have my own stuff. I share my own thoughts, my own perspective like this. But then I'll also DJ other people's content. I don't want to do one or the other. I don't want to just be the thought leader and never share anybody else's stuff. But I don't also only want to be the guy sharing other people's stuff and never have my own message. I'd like doing both. It's weird. If you go to Gary Vaynerchuk's YouTube channel, you're not going to find a top 10 rules from Grant Cardone. Most people don't do what I'm doing. That's great. I'm a weird duck. This is how I stand out and how I'm unique. You need to find the same thing for you. And so those multiple ideas and passions that you have, stop thinking them as separate things. Smush them into one and be the first to do it. That's what makes you unique. That's what makes you impossible to copy. 2, you make big decisions with your heart and the small ones with your head. Your head only understands a world that currently exists. Your heart can make something new that hasn't existed before. As an entrepreneur, you come up with all these new ideas. You want to change the world. You want to create something that hasn't been done before. Then your head, your practical head comes in and says, you can't do that. That's never been done before. That's not how things operate. And you start playing small. You have to make the big decisions in life with the heart, because it can imagine something new that doesn't make logical sense because it's new. New things don't make logical, practical sense. Hasn't existed yet, right? And then you use your head to figure out the how. And so if you love making YouTube videos, if you love that process, if you want to be the next YouTuber, amazing. You might suck right now. Your head's telling you, you suck. You're a gardener. You know nothing about YouTube videos. You don't know how to use a camera. You don't know anything about editing. Logically, practically, it doesn't make any sense to do this thing. But in your heart, you want to do it. And so decide with your heart and then use your head to figure out the how. Okay, head, we're doing this. I've decided from my heart we're going to make YouTube videos. Now help me figure out how to do it. And your head gets to work to say, okay, great. Well, we need to develop some skills. We need to get some gear. We need to get some help. And then you get to work. And number 3 is taste sushi. You don't know if you're going to like something until you try it. You can't think your way through liking sushi. You can look at it. You can say, okay, there's some rice and some raw fish. So I've never had that before. You don't know if you're going to like it or not. The best thing you can do to figure this out is just to go off and try. Stop judging, stop putting so much pressure on things, stop planning and researching and strategizing, and just try the thing. You have an idea, you want to try something, you want to be a YouTuber, great, make a video today. Go make a video. Stop planning, stop worrying about what gear, what camera, what microphone, what light you're going to use. Just make a video and post. That list of ideas that you have that just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, the way to attack it is just to attack it, just to start doing something as small as possible, just to take some immediate momentum off of it and do the tasting. You can't wrap your head around it. You need to wrap your heart around it. And so you find that sushi and you bite it and you see if you like it. And that's the fastest way to know if you can do one of those ideas on your list or not. Now I've got a really special bonus clip that I think you're going to enjoy. But before that, question of the day, I want to know, what 2 or 3 interests are you going to smush together into one that will make you unique? Let me know in the comments below.
You went to law school, then you actually went into law, you're kind of starting your law career, and then you realize, I don't want to be doing this.
You're absolutely right. I had started my career in law. One of the things that helped me, and I suggest this to people generally, is to think about whom do you envy. Because envy is a very, very unpleasant emotion, but it reveals a lot. And one of the things that helped me as I was figuring out whether I wanted to try to be a writer was when I would read the alum notes in my college magazine, people who had cool law jobs, I was like, that sounds interesting. But then when people had cool writing jobs, I just felt sick with envy. And so I began, and also at that time, I started to have an idea for a book that I wanted to write which was published, called Power, Money, Fame, Stacks, The User's Guide. And I began to realize, I'm writing this book on the weekend, but some people write a book as their job. And my sister was a professional writer. She's a TV writer. And I got to the point where I thought, you know, I'd rather fail as a writer than succeed as a lawyer. And and my husband and I were moving from Washington to DC to New York. So there was this sort of logical transition. And I thought, if I don't try it now, if I get another law job, I'm not sure I will ever have like the wherewithal to make a switch. So this is my moment. This is the obvious time to give it a shot. So why don't I try? And so I went to the bookstore and got a book called something like How to Write and Sell Your Nonfiction Book Proposal, and just followed the directions.
I always talk about this, but there's two voices in us. There's a first voice that says, what if we did this? And it feels good. You know the voice is the voice when it doesn't have any reason why, and it can't tell you anything past the first move. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Because your mind comes in and goes, well, I want to see the entire thing. So the first voice goes, let's leave this company. That's all it can say. Let's ask that person out. Turn right here. Go to the cabin for a while. Go into nature. Write a book. Whatever it is, that's what the voice says. It's just a feeling. That feeling we have 24 hours a day, and we never listen to it. What if you did meditate? What if you did start that band? What if you left this band and started the other one? Right? And it's just a feeling. It can't tell you why because you've never done it. Right? That feeling is a feeling. It cannot tell you why because you've never, ever done the thing. But that feeling is a preview. It's saying, you know that open feeling you're feeling? If you actually do it, you'll always feel this way. So we ignore it usually because we've created the thing that we actually pay attention to, which is the collection of thoughts that you learn from society that tell you why you shouldn't, and it comes up with the stupidest reason why. We should leave this company. Yeah, but if we do, we can't go to the Cheesecake Factory party next Thursday. And the first voice is like, if you'd learn to listen to me, you'll own all the Cheesecake Factories in 2 months, and you could make them all vegan if you wanted. But I can't tell you that. The voice is like, I can't tell you that. You know why? Because then you wouldn't be moving from faith, would you? You'd be moving from certainty. You'd be moving from protection. Will I have security if I leave this job? Because you're under the illusion that your security is outside of you? Everyone thinks, well, I just need to have security. You never have security outside of you.
If you want Gary's advice on knowing if you are a true entrepreneur or not, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
If you're a purebred entrepreneur, you love the dark clouds.
When there's chaos and negativity around you, that's your chance to build an amazing business.